Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we proudly present our spectacular show of podcast magic and imagination full of Disney wonder, news, and pop culture. It's the Main Street Electrical Podcast with Jenn Dave and David Dollar.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, Dave.
It's the Main Street Electrical Podcast. Welcome back to the Main Street Electrical Podcast. My name is Dave, and that is Jen. And this is the 118th edition of the Main Street Electrical Podcast.
Wow.
Been here since May of 2020. Approaching like 40,000 downloads for our show.
Oh, wow.
So thank you guys out there very, very much. I appreciate everything you guys are doing. Your listenership is fantastic. We're discussing some great things for the future of the show and having great guests on. And I know I've said that before, but we're real excited. We're excited about what we're doing and just having fun and everything. And we'll get to this in a few minutes, but I did go back and listen to an early episode of the show for a reason, which I'll talk about in a minute. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun because back in August of 2020, we were talking about how you were about to travel to Hilton Head on your trip. This is August 2020. We were talking about me setting up my Cancun trip, which was coming up. Which was coming up.
Yeah, that was coming up.
My first trip to Cancun. We were talking about how Disney had just filed the plans for Project Gamma, which was going to replace the electric umbrella and that whole area over there for this new restaurant that we were hearing about. We weren't sure what it was going to be called, but eventually it would be known as Space 220. Remy was going to be opening up in May of 2021. I don't know that we got in the word, but that was the big rumor. That
was the rumor.
Rumor. And of course, we were talking about how, you know what, folks, we don't like it. I don't like it. Jen doesn't like it. You have to wear a mask at Disney World. There's no way around it.
That's done. That's done.
I was listening to that and I was just cringing. I was like, "Thank you, Jesus, that we're no longer there. Thank you. This is just years ago."
I remember wearing it in the middle of July, and I just you just sweat through the mat.
You were happy that you were there. You were so happy that you were there.
Thrilled to be there.
So
100%.
there was part of that, but then
100%.
a year later, you're like, we're still wearing masks, and it's still, oh my gosh.
And then whenever they finally dropped the outside, that was like, I was like, oh, yeah, hallelujah. Oh my gosh. Cause the sweaty mat.
Yeah. I remember taking my last trip to Disney in June and not wearing a mask at all on the trip. I don't think I had to wear them on the plane. I think our airport asked us to wear masks, but there were pilots and stewards and flight attendants walking around with no masks. There were airport workers walking around with no masks. So I had a mask in my hand in case somebody said something, but mostly in the TSA I had to wear one. But beyond that, didn't wear a mask in the airport at all because I'm like, if the girl behind the counter is telling me this $9 bottle of water is not going to wear a mask as an airport employee, I'm not sure I'm going to wear one either. Just say we're breathing the same air here. So, Jen, how'd you Disney this week?
Oh, well, I guess I should say I am Disneying by starting to get some stuff together for my trip next week, which is Adventures by Disney. So in Costa Rica. So that is vaguely Disneying. It's probably a different sort of Disneying because I'm not packing like ears and my normal Florida things. This is more like activewear and bug spray because Costa Rica and sunscreen. That kind of thing. So getting ready, getting very excited.
That's exciting. I cannot wait to hear the trip. I'm hoping. Yeah. I don't know if they have Wi-Fi in Costa Rica. I'm sure they do in the bigger cities, but I'm not sure where you will be, if they will be able to get out or whatever. But I am hoping that you'll be able to call into the show from wherever you are, even for 5 minutes, because I'm sure that Heather will be on. The two of us will. I mean, she's our third co-host, basically. I'm sure she'll be on the show with us and we'll be talking about something and bring you in from Costa Rica and just.
Yeah, I have like literally no idea. But like how my service is going to be, but yeah, I'm excited.
Well, I mean, I'm a dumb kid from Alabama. So when I think Costa Rica, all I think of are jungles and, pathways and like zip lines and stuff. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's got to be a city in there somewhere. And they have cars at some point. I mean, it's just me not having a clue what Costa Rica looks like. That's really exciting. I can't wait to hear all about that. I'm sure we'll have the one with Costa Rica. That'll be our episode in a few weeks as you come back and report all about your Adventure by Disney trip and what to expect with the Adventure by Disney. I think that's fantastic. For me, they have released the Lego Mini Haunted Mansion.
I saw that.
I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited. It's sold out everywhere. I don't have one yet, but I scouring and watching and scouring. It's not on Amazon.
You can't find it yet?
It's not in Shop Disney. Apparently it's in the parks right now. And so I've got feelers out. I've got people looking for it. I've got people I'm like, let me know if you find it, because I just had a birthday, got a little bit of money in my pocket, money to burn that I could use probably for something much better, much more useful to my life. But I'm like, I now want a Lego mini Haunted Mansion because it's only like $40, which is amazing. It looks fantastic. Sit right next to my Lego mini castle that I have. I'm just excited. I have way too many way too many Legos piled up.
You have
everywhere.
a lot of Legos. I
have a lot of Legos. It's not my fault though. They're cheap, and they when they're $5 bags of little Lego kits, like little Star Wars and stuff. I can't help it. It's an addiction.
Yeah.
But Lego mini castle. So really, I haven't Disney in terms of getting it, but I am Disneying in terms of looking at it, and I'm going to find it and looking at it, whatever. They also released, apparently either today or the next couple of days, they're going to release the Funko Pop, which is Mickey in his pilot hat in Walt's plane.
He's
in
so
Walt's
cute.
plane.
Yeah.
Now, I saw that and I was like, I want that. And of course, we had Agent Kelly. She was like, "This is your version of the Dooney bags. This is
it. Literally,
all the girls are talking about Dooney bags and shoes, and you're like, whatever." And yet, when a Funko comes up, you're like, "I want that." And I'm like, "I know, it's all."
You make fun of us for our bags. We can carry our bags with us. You can't carry a Funko.
It's a little ridiculous. Speaking of bags, speaking of Dooney bags, Jen, house update. I heard exciting news about the house update. Is there a foundation going on? What's happening with the house? What's happening in the Amish Village?
So as of last Friday, when we went up and looked at it, there was like all gravel. It looked like it was ready for the slab. And we did get an email on Monday saying they're pouring the slab this week and framing's going to start next week. So I actually, after months and months, I'm actually going to see progress on our house, and I'm very excited about that.
Very cool. And of course, you're designing your closet. So I'm assuming you're going to have one closet just for shoes, one closet just for ears, and one closet just for Doonies.
I mean, obviously.
Obviously. I mean, I'm imagining that. And so I'm just imagining this closet with the big shelving that kind of is automated. And maybe you can like go to the keypad and type in the outfit you're wearing, and the computer system will analyze and like give you the shoes and the purse you need to take with you. Of course, right? But it's an algorithm.
Because that'll be very affordable.
Well, absolutely. I mean, it's you should be fine. But yeah, I could just punch it in and whatever. I'm wearing a purple dress with these whatever, and here comes the ears, the shoes, and the hat all coming out. There we go. And I think this will work. I don't know if that actually exists, but it should for somebody like you.
I mean, it probably exists somewhere. I don't know of anywhere that exists, but I mean, listen, it was on, was it Clueless and then Overboard?
Something like that, yeah.
Like, weren't those both like they had those?
Well, I know they have those. They have those like dry. I mean, I imagine like a dry cleaner where you push the button and the whole thing just rotates with all the clothes and everything. I could see that in your closet too, and you're just like, okay, I'm wearing this dress. I need to punch in A456. There's the dress right there, and it's. Yeah, I can't wait to see pictures of your closet. It's gonna be great.
I do have a walk-in closet, but I don't think it's quite that big.
You know how disappointed we're all going to be when you open the door with a camera and you're like, "Look, this is my closet," and there's like just some shelves on it. And you're like, "Are you bougie? Do you even bougie, bro?
Stop.
What the heck?" It's just terrible. Let's get to some news. All right, so a little handful of news topics here as we are talking about Disney World and Disneyland. It's basically around the world. Just announced, Disney is announcing the returning of beloved Epcot Tours. And of course, 3 tours have been announced that are returning. The first are kind of the 2 big ones. They are the scuba diving one that's over in Epcot. You're basically swimming like this 5 million gallon tank, which looks really
who have done
cool.
That. I have clients.
You have done that.
I haven't. My clients have.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
It's called the Epcot Seas Adventure Dive Quest.
Yes.
You will get to go inside the park's 5.7 million gallon saltwater aquarium. You'll learn about marine life, coral life at the seas with Nemo and Friends Pavilion. You have to have your scuba certification, and it's going to cost you around $219 per person. If you don't have your scuba certification, and you're like, but I still want to do water stuff, and Blizzard Beach is not open yet, you can do the Dolphins in-depth tour. Guests can learn about bottlenose dolphins and even get an up-close interaction with them. This is going to cost you $199 per person. If you're thinking, I just spent a lot of money on tickets and a lot of money in my ear, I just built a closet that cost me a lot of money as well, don't have $200 to throw in some water stuff, You could also do the Behind the Scenes tour. Now, this is a very famous tour. A lot of people have done. It's a 1 hour tour. 1 hour tour of the fish farm and 4 greenhouses that make up the land pavilion. It's perfect for anybody with an interest in gardening or natural sciences, or you just see behind the scenes stuff. It's going to cost you $35. It used to be $25. It's gone up a few bucks now. Hashtag inflation.
Still not bad.
And so these tours are starting October 2nd. We can actually start booking them. I want to say August the 25th. Something like 22nd, maybe somewhere right in there. Contact your travel agent, pick us, and we will take on that. So those are the tours that are coming back, which is really exciting. I'm excited for those. I'm excited for all the tours that are coming back. Jen, the Main Street Electrical Parade Magic Band is debuting today.
Yeah.
Okay, so background, the Main Street Electrical Parade, that's of course the big parade over at Disneyland. It came back last year. People are excited about it. However, we're hearing on September 1st, it's going to go away. Well, Shop Disney has tweeted this week that a new it's going to go away at Disneyland, we know for sure.
Disneyland, yes, correct.
Yes. The new Disney's Electric Light Parade Magic Band Plus is arriving today, August the 17th, and going to be available for the price of, $30, $40 or whatever. It's the new Magic Band, the little thicker one that does the light up stuff and blah, blah, blah. It's a really cool design. I've seen the pictures. It looks great.
It does look good.
I kind of wish I'd gotten this one instead of, I ordered the partner statue one, which I'm excited about, but I kind of wish this one had been there because I would have gotten this one. But Jen, I got to ask you, they're pushing this Main Street Electrical Parade with the merchandise, and I've seen the jerseys, the Spirit jerseys and everything, all at Disney World. Is this just nostalgia because people love the parade? We want people to buy some merchandise for a parade that's going away, even though it's over there going away, and a lot of people don't even know it's there. Pay attention. Or is it B, at D23, we're going to hear one of the Bobs, probably Chapek or maybe Josh or somebody say, and folks, coming back soon to Disney World is the Main Street Electrical Parade. Which do you think we're going to, it's more likely that they're doing?
mean, honestly, both are fair game. I as much as they say that the Main Street Electrical Parade is going away again, is it really going away? Is it really going away? Because it never has actually, when Spectrum Magic went away, they destroyed it. Yeah. Spectrum Magic actually cannot come back unless they rebuild it. It is actually gone. They have been really pushing the merch. It would not surprise me to get an announcement. I will say that. Obviously, complete rumor. This is speculation. 1,000%. Maybe wishful thinking, because a lot of us wish for a nighttime parade again. So it might be wishful thinking. And Disneyland still ostensibly has Paint the Night out there. Right. I mean, I don't think they destroyed those floats. I mean, it was running.
Although that's
COVID.
A totally different subject because I don't know how that would work at Disney World. I've heard various things about why it can't come to Disney World, the size of it, and then people will say, well,
but what I'm saying is Disneyland could still have a nighttime parade, basically.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Because whatever, they already have those floats. They already have that out there. So I mean, it's a distinct possibility. Who knows? People do love it. I mean, people are buying the merch.
Very true. I mean, I would buy the merch. I've got a little wishables.
I mean, hello. They have adorable little lounge fly. They have a great.
It looks great, of course. And then the jersey looks cool. I thought about getting one for Stephanie because they just look cool. I mean, honestly, and it's full. Have about 3 or 4 days comfortably wear it, and it's not too hot. So as long as you're at Disney World, those 3 or 4 days to wear your Spirit jersey when it's not steaming hot, that's great. I kind of have the same thing. I also kind of feel as if Disney was going to do. This is it. Make sure the parade's going away. A lot of this merchandise would be like the final run or some sort of final finality. If it was a something.
Listen, they merchandised the heck out of the finale for Wishes and all of that. So I mean, if it was, I feel
I'm like you, rumor. I can't tell you for sure, but if I had to predict, I think it would come back.
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility.
No,
I do think
I'm predicting it's going to come back. I'm not going to flat out predict some form or fashion. Disney fans are so excited. If you had offered this up to them in 2019, when we haven't had a nighttime parade even before then, though, right?
When did it go down? 2018? Was that the last? I'd have to look it up.
But I mean, we've been without a nighttime parade for a while, even before COVID happened, I think. I think if you'd offered this up in 2019 saying, hey guys, I know it just ended, but we're bringing it back, I think Disney fans would be like, what the crap, Disney? Bring me something else. We've just had this. However, because we've had it for so long gone, plus COVID happened, I think Disney are just clamoring for it. They want one. They want it. Give me anything right now. We'll complain about it next year. Right now, we want a parade with the new. There's a new float on the end too, with all the new characters and stuff. So that's cool. So
yeah, no, I think fans would be like, yes. They just would really love that. Yep. Exactly. So
if you're over in the Boardwalk and you're hungry, the Boardwalk Deli is now open. The menu looks delicious. You can go online and find out. But I've seen the pictures. Nice. I've seen the menu. It looks fantastic. A Hollywood and Vine buffet. I think before, but just as a reminder, next week returns with the characters. The mini seasonal dining is there. The buffet part returns, where you're going up, getting your food on your own. Jen, I know you love that. You're having to actually go up and get your own food. So, what? There is that, exactly. And so also Disneyland, moving over the coast, they have now brought back, and they're renewing for renewals, not for new purchases, but renewals, the Magic Key holder. It's the new renewal information was released just recently. They have raised the prices, of course. They've actually taken out the Dream Key, which was the top tier, and now with the Inspire Key. So basically, you're going to be paying more for it, but all tiers will now be getting 20% off the Disney Genie line skipping upgrade, which takes your cost down from 20 to 16 per day. So you don't get it free, but you do get it at a lower cost.
A little bit, yeah.
Exactly. They're also adding a free photo pass benefit for the top 2 tiers of Magic Keys. You get pass with the Dream Key, now Inspire Key, and the Believe Key. And of course, they all have their own different features and special things like that. But you're starting with the Inspire Key at $15.99. Holding up to 6 park reservations at once. You get 20% off merchandise, 15% off food and beverage, and of course 20% off Genie Plus, free parking, and free photo pass downloads. Your Believe Key is basically $1,100. Your Enchant Key is $700, and then your Imagine Key, which is only for Southern California residents, is about $450. Okay. And so those are all up a little bit in price. We are still waiting for the annual passes in Disney World. Jen, my wife, Steph, and I, we have decided, we've taken the money that we had put aside for annual passes. Now given up hope. We're going to spend it on new iPhones coming out in the fall.
I mean, honestly, at this point,
I have an 8. She has an 11. She wants the 3 camera. She knows that if she gets that 3-tiered camera, I'm like, I'm the travel agent. Why don't I have the good camera? So we're going to upgrade me to a 13 or even a 14 with the money we were going to use for an annual pass.
Well, there's no guarantee it's coming out. And
here's what's going to happen though. We're going to walk back to our house with our new phones and be like, look, Jen, we got new phones and la 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 la. And then all of a sudden you're going to be like, hey, did you hear the news? Annual passes are coming back tomorrow in limited supply. Of course they are. Yeah, of course they are.
I mean, the thing is, whenever you're ready next time, like when they're for sale, you're not going to you're just going to have to go straight for it and just book it as soon as it comes out.
Yeah. Yep. So jumping back over to Orlando, let's talk about Universal just real quickly. This is a Universal fan update here for Halloween Horror Nights. The confirmed haunted houses. And I'll just read these out real quick because I don't know a lot about these, but you might be like,
yesterday, so
I want numbers. The Spirits of the Coven, Dead Man's Pier, Winter's Wake, the Fiesta, the Chupacabra, I can't even say Fiesta, the Chupacabra, the Descendants of Destruction, Bugs Eaten Alive.
Oh my God.
Fun. Hellblock Horror, Halloween, I'm assuming based on the movie, Universal Monsters Legends Collide, The Horrors of Blumhouse. Of course, Blumhouse is a movie studio that makes a lot of horror movies.
I had no idea.
Weekend. Whatever those means, I have
that confuses me because I saw they literally went to a Universal thing yesterday and they showed it's the Weekend, as in the artist, the musical artist. Weekend. Yeah. I was like, why do we have a haunted what?
Well, his biggest hit, it's pop culture here. His biggest hit is a song called Blinded by the Light. Yeah, Blinding Lights. And it's Blinding Lights. I don't know why I said
Blinding Lights. Yeah. Well, because he says the lyrics are blinded by the light. Yeah.
Well, the video has him running through this light thing, this maze or whatever. It's kind of weird. So I'm wondering if they're gonna do something on that. And as you're running through and people are yelling at you, you'll hear the dun 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 dun. Exactly. Houses, you're gonna have 5 scare zones. You'll have 2 shows. You'll have themed food and beverages. Everything starts on September the 2nd. Here's what it says about the Weekend After Hours Nightmare. Guests will be stalked by the Weekend through a surreal nightmare of after hours music with bandage maniacs performing extreme plastic surgery. It's described as being a grotesque mannequin masquerade. His nightmare is now yours. This is off Universal's one of the theme park websites. So this is not a parody sign. So
okay. So yeah, this is interesting. Didn't know that.
Well,
Okay.
I know that he's rebelling against the system. Not that we're turning this into a Weeknd chat. I know he's rebelling against the system because his song "Blinding Lights" was basically on the charts for an entire calendar year, which nobody had ever done.
Yeah.
I mean, massive hit.
It was a huge hit.
Tens of huge hit.
Yeah.
Was snubbed by all Grammys, by all the awards and everything. And I know he was very unhappy about that. So I know that he's kind of rebelled against the system, and he's pulled his consideration, like other things, other awards were like, hey, we want to consider you for this. And he's like, nope, you can't have my music at all. And so I don't know, maybe it is the whole thing of like,
well, I know the mask had something to do with that. Like
I just thought it was bad plastic surgery.
No, no, I don't even think he had surgery. I think he was wearing it like.
I think you're right, though. I think you're absolutely right about that.
No, he just was wearing it. Yeah,
that's
it
hilarious.
was.
That's strange. Well,
at least that's what I think. So
he's on a roller coaster ride of sorts. Him, his career, and his music, and whatever. But
yeah,
I love going on roller coaster rides myself, not having anything to do with plastic surgery. But theme parks, actually.
Yes.
Jen, in 2020, and this is what we mentioned at the top of the show. In 2020, on episode 15 of this show, we did a top 10 roller coasters. You gave your list. I gave my list. I'll read through our list in just a minute, kind of what they were before. It was a fun episode. We talked a lot about roller coasters. We talked about some of our favorites. We talked about what made a good roller coaster for us. We concentrated mostly on Universal and Disney World and Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, Hagrid's had been opened like 2 or 3 months, but we had not done it yet. VelociCoaster was not open yet, so we had not done that one yet either, obviously. And Guardians obviously was not open either. I'm not even sure they had announced Guardians at this point. Maybe they announced it.
They'd announced it because they've been working on that Guardians building.
That's true. That is true. But we didn't know anything about what it was going to be.
No, we didn't know anything about like the theming or the inside
because it was a big building there, big blue building. That's all.
Well, we knew that they closed Ellen already.
Yeah, they closed Ellen like 2018 maybe. 2017, 2018, because they closed that and the Great Movie Ride at the same time.
At the same time.
Yep, the same day. So I thought it would be fun for us to go back and revisit our top 10, changing it around a little bit, however you want to do it. Give our top 10 again, this time including the 3 rides we have been on, including Hagrid's, VelociCoaster, and Guardians. Now that we've all done those several times each, I thought this might be fun to incorporate those in our top 10 and see where our top 10 now has gone. And of course, Jen, Primeval Whirl no longer. So that cannot make your top 10, unfortunately. But I will read you your top 10 in order from 10 to 1. Rip Ride Rocket, number 10. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, The Mummy, The Hulk, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, California Screamin'. Of course, you said you knew it was Incredibles, but you said California because that's what you remember it as. Slinky Dog Dash, Rock and Roller Coaster, Space Mountain in Disneyland only, which I agreed, and Everest was your number 1. My top 10. Barnstormer for sentimental reasons, Rock and Roller Coaster, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Big Thunder Mountain, Rip Ride Rocket, Everest. Number 4, like you, was Slinky Dog Dash. Number 3 was Space Mountain Disneyland. Hulk was number 2, and the Incredicoaster was my number 1. So we're gonna go back through and list our top 10 again, just 10 to 1, and compare it to how it used to be. And if we want to give reasons why something fell or rose or whatever, but I'm assuming that your new top 10 will incorporate all 3 of these new coasters, at least all 3 of the new coasters, if not anything else you can think of. But
probably
exactly. But we'll incorporate basically Disney World, Disneyland, and Universal. We will keep SeaWorld out of it. Legoland. I don't know the Gatorland.
I've never been there.
We'll definitely keep Fun Spot out of it because their rides, I don't know. I want to get on their rides. Icon Park, probably not. Let's not do those because that's crazy. But let's give you your number 10. First of all, Jen, when you make your list, your top 10, what do you consider a good coaster? Not just the ride itself, but do you consider the theming and the queue for these parks? I mean, you go to a Six Flags, but these parks, what do you consider? What makes a good coaster to you?
I'm sort of looking at overall experience. Honestly, I mean, the thrill has to be there 100%, but I love the overall theming. I don't want it to be too jerky, I guess, like I want it to be like a good coaster. I don't want to have to go to my chiropractor after.
Right. That's a good point. It's a really
basically. Good point. And that, I would say, because of the parks we're talking about, theming in general, pretty darn good, right? I mean, you're not going to really go wrong here, but, so a combination for me of thrills and speed, but not too herky-jerky, and just like overall ride experience.
I like it. I'm kind of the same way. I feel as if, and I don't think I really talked about this the last time we did this list, because I'm getting older, just had a birthday. How I feel when I get off this ride, if I want to ride it again immediately, that plays into it. If it's a ride that Disneyland in Walt Disney World is a great example. I'm sorry, Disneyland. in Walt Disney World's a great example.
Yeah.
I love the ride. It's a great ride. It's an iconic ride. I love the building. I love the story. I love
Mhm.
the history of it. I ride it one time and one time only. I have no desire to get on it again. And that's a ride that if I haven't done it in the 3 or 4 days I'm at Disney World for whatever reason, I'm like, oh, I missed Space Mountain. Okay. There are other rides, and I'm like, oh crap, I didn't get to ride Tower of
Yeah.
Terror at all. Dang it. We were there all day. How did we not ride Tower of Terror? I'm upset about this. Space Mountain, I'm like, or maybe I'll remember with a group or whatever, and I'm like, Heather, Kelly, Jen, y'all gonna ride Space Mountain? Okay, y'all do that. Kyla, what are you doing? I'll go with you. So I mean, it's it's not a go-to for me. It's not an ultimate for me. These other ones are kind of I really want to do these things. I want to make sure that I do these things. So Jen, why don't you give your number 10? Of course, last time around it was Rip Ride Rocket. What is your number 10 this time?
Number 10 this time is the Mummy.
Mummy. Okay.
Now I have not gotten to ride it since the refurb. Which I assume they just cleaned it up, but we were there while it was down. So I haven't been able to ride it since it reopened, but I still do love it. I don't know why. It's just so much fun.
It is a fun ride. It's shorter than I remember. I remember riding it. Did we ride it? We ride it in June? We didn't ride it in June.
No, because it was
June, right?
closed. It was
Okay,
down.
so it was last April
was
in
last-
2021
yeah.
when we rode it again. It was fun. I mean, it's not one that I don't remember a lot about it. Like I can't remember a lot of the theming. I know the theming. It's the Mummy.
I was going to say it's the Mummy.
I don't know a lot about it, honestly. It's just, I mean, I do like the ride. I know our agent Meredith loves this ride. She just thinks this ride's great. It does play a little bit into the whole 3D, projection thing or whatever, a little bit much like all Universal rides do. But yeah, Mummy's okay. Mummy's all right for me. Rock and Roller Coaster was my number 9 last time. It's now my number 10 this time. I dropped it down one notch.
Okay.
This is a ride that I'm hearing increasingly more thoughts on whether it's going to be rethemed or not. The rumors are like, what's going to be rethemed? The Aerosmith contract is running out. Apparently, that's what I'm hearing. I don't know anything official. Steven Tyler hasn't called me back. I mean, he texts me all the time, and I ask him one question, he doesn't call me back.
He just whatever, of course.
Exactly, jerk. But this is a ride that I really enjoy. It's on that cusp of groups that if I miss this particular attraction, I'm not about it, but I do ride it every chance I get. It's a fast coaster. It's a couple of inversions. The launch it goes like 0 to 60 in like 2 or 3 seconds. It takes off really, really fast, and it's a fun ride to ride with people. This is a really fun ride to have with your friends. It has single rider, and that's great. But I would rather ride it with 3 or 4 people and to have that picture of your 4, you and your 3 compatriots in your little car together, and your hands are all up and whatever. The problem is there's so many pictures I have of this ride now where we have all got our masks on. And I feel like I don't even want to show those pictures anymore. I'm just like, those pictures don't even count. I'm keeping them for posterity, but otherwise.
But you want new ones.
I want new pictures. Number 9 for you. Last time it was 7 Doors Mine Train. What's your number 9 this time?
My number 9 is actually Hagrid's. And so interesting that it made it as a number 9. I love how long it is. It is a long coaster. Okay. It is, it has several launches.
Yep.
It breaks down a lot. So the line sucks. The line sucks just straight up.
Point.
There's no passing it unless you are literally in line when it breaks down or you're on a VIP tour. So for that reason, I have to kind of rank it lower because it's just a pain in the rear end to get on. So
I can. I totally see that. That's Okay,
it's very well themed though. Like the theming.
If the ride did not break down all the time, if it was a ride that constantly moved and everything, even if the queue was still just as long, if the ride did not break down all the time, would this go up in your rankings, or would it kind of still be the same as the queue kind of ruined it for you?
I mean, it would probably bump it up a little bit, but not too much. Just the ride itself is great. I love the fact that you got the motorbike and you got the little sidecar. But so much of the queue. Parts of the queue are super duper well themed. I mean, Harry Potter in general is very well themed. Getting into the outside part of the line though, you're literally in a queue. I mean, you can see the ride, which is cool. You can see bits and pieces, but there are like parts when you're inside that you're just like in a tunnel. And I'm like, nope, I'm kind of over this. It's very long. It is very long. So yeah.
I get that. It's a fun queue if you need to get there early. This is one of those, and we'll talk about VelociCoaster too. But this is one of those if you have one day at the park, you make your decision. Which one do I want to ride the most? Because we're going straight to that. Also, ask the team members, hey, is it running right now? Before I get in line, is it running? And pick your poison. Go straight to that one. If you have 2 days in the park, go to the other one.
Yes.
So it's crazy that these 2 rides are the most popular.
And you have to go
rides
very,
very
early.
Park. Yeah.
Well, specifically for Hagrid's, I should say, because that one just gets nuts.
Yeah.
It just really does. I mean,
yeah, I understand. It's well, because the queue is because the ride does break down a lot, and the queue is so long, and and it kind of snakes through part of the park, and it's just kind of obnoxious. So the queue is not very well built out. So I'm not. I completely get that. Number 9 for me, I dropped it down a little bit. Actually, let's see, it was number 5 or 6 on my list last time. Rip Ride Rocket. This is a ride that I did not get to ride in June. When we went to Universal, we actually didn't ride a lot of rides in June. I think we were all doing different things and whatever. And
I mean, I rode a lot, but I didn't ride that. I don't remember why I didn't ride that one.
I love it's one of those that goes straight up. You've seen the pictures, goes straight up and that big hill and everything, and it drops. Does not do any inversions, by the way. You think it does, but it doesn't. It just zips around all over the place, and fantastic. I love the fact you can set your music, you can pick your songs, and I'm a big fan of Sabotage by the Beastie Boys. You're of course Disco Inferno by the Tramps. That's the song you usually go. Right?
I have done that one actually. I think I did Motley Crue last time.
You did.
I did Motley Crue.
Feel Good or Kickstart My Heart, one or the other.
Dr. Feelgood.
Dr. Feelgood. Okay. I remember we had this discussion 2 years ago.
Yeah,
so,
I think it was Dr. Feelgood.
I don't remember what happened last week, so just remembering what happened when we discussed 2 years ago, a little on the edge there, but I believe it was Dr. Feelgood. But anyway, great. I love when you pick your music. I love that's always fun to do that.
Yeah.
Great ride, intense ride. I think I might be hitting that part of my life where that's a one rider. Like, I can't wait to ride it. I've done it once. Yeah, let's go do something else. Ice cream.
Going multiple times in a row anymore is kind of not.
Yeah. That's tough. All right, number 8 had The Mummy last time at number 8.
Okay.
What's 8 for you now?
8. This almost pains me because I did drop it a few levels. Big Thunder Mountain.
Big Thunder Mountain.
I still love it. I still love it, but I love other things more now. So, I mean, classic. It's not too herky jerky. It's not the fastest, most thrilling ride, but it does throw you around a little bit in a fun way. And I love the guy in the bathtub, and little goat up on the hill, and that one just always makes me happy. I know I'm in Disney World. If I don't ride it, I don't feel like I've been, and I love it during the fireworks.
I totally get that. I can't distinguish between the two, Disney World and Disneyland. I love them both. I know they're different rides. I get that. And they're kind of the same ride, but different rides, some different theming, some different things. I love both of them. I think both are just wonderful. I think both are classic rides. Find out when I talk about that in just a few minutes.
Oh, well, okay.
Number 8 for me last time around was Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which I think I've dropped that off my list entirely, which is a little sad. Did you? I love the ride, but I'm like, now that we have all these new ones, I'm like, I can't add it. I can't add it on there. So
Agreed.
my number 8 this go round, however, is Expedition Everest. And this is a little hard dropping it this far because it was a little higher on my list last time. But I love the theming on this ride. We keep talking about theming and queues. This is one of the most well-built queues out of any attraction.
It is.
The queue is just wonderful in this. And fantastic. There's so many little clues in there. And honestly, I haven't been through the regular queue in quite a while because the line for this is never really that long unless it's just a really, really busy day.
It's not that bad. It used to be terrible. Oh, it used to be
in the
terrible.
mornings and evenings, it's not bad at all. You can kind of zip right in there. A single rider, of course, you can go right in there as well.
Right.
We use the DAS pass, so we kind of go through a slightly different line. But even if you have the lightning lane and everything, you go through a different line. But if you are ever in the long line, make sure you pay attention to the theming. Some of the stuff, the pictures they went to the mountains in India, they took Himalayas, they took a picture of all this stuff and brought it back. I mean, it's cool.
Oh, and look at I love looking on the desk at the different papers and the things and the old computers and the hidden Mickey Yeti.
Yes.
There is a hidden Mickey Yeti.
Yes. I think that's cool. There's a bunch of hidden Mickeys in there too, but
there are.
Hidden Mickey Yeti is great, and just
more about that later.
Yeah, more about that later. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Number 7 on your list last time around was Hulk. What's your 7?
Okay, Hulk fell off entirely too.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me too. And it was number 2 on my list last time.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So I really did debate on this one. I still have Incredicoaster, which I actually wrote down California Screaming. And it was like, oh, wait, no, it's Incredicoaster. Oops. So I do think it's adorable. I like that they redid it with the Incredibles theming. It is still just a really good classic coaster. I do love it. So.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the Incredicoaster. It is fun. It is just, I like California Screaming better, I guess. The
Did
ride
you?
is
Why?
the same.
I'm
The
just
ride is
curious
the
because it's the
same.
same.
Just
It's the
the
same
theming is
track.
different. I guess I just like I just like the theme, the simple theming, the whole pier thing of the California Screaming.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, The Incredibles is fine, but it tells the story of trying to get Jack and everything. And some of the
Mhm.
the effects look cool. Some of them are just kind of cheesy or whatever. I guess I just like I don't like the distractions, I guess. I like
Yeah.
just the simple ride itself. The launch is still the same. However, I
Mhm.
did find out today that if you look off to the left, as it launches, you will see Jack running on the water. There is a
Really?
water spew that goes up right beside the coaster, so it's like Jack running on the water. Not Jack. I'm
Huh.
sorry, Dash.
Dash. No, I
Running on the
what's
water.
funny is I
So,
pictured Dash, but I know
yeah,
like
me too. Me too.
I knew what you meant,
I don't
obviously.
think Jack is walking yet. So
No, he's not walking yet. So.
My number 7 is Space Mountain Disneyland. Now, not Disney World, but
Oh.
Disneyland. It
Mhm.
is a fun ride. It is a
Yes.
smooth ride. It is everything that
Mhm.
I want our Space Mountain over here to be.
That's what we all would
You
love.
sit side by side, 2 by 2,
Yep.
not backwards, not 1, 2, 3, like you do in the Matterhorn over there, which the Matterhorn is not on my list. For the same reasons
Spoiler
that the
alert,
Space
not on
Mountain Disney
mine.
World is not on my list because I like my back. So no, it's this is a ride that I can do over and over, and it's so smooth.
It
And I
really
like the
is.
fact that the music is in your car, so it's not that like you're
Mhm.
hearing music like this and then da, 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 da. It's all like in your vehicle, and so you're hearing it all in the vehicle and everything. And the theming is going to kind of be the same. It is that retro Tomorrowland over there, so I
Mhm.
think their Tomorrowland theming is a little bit more on point than ours is. I think ours is a little confusing. Like they didn't know what to do with it. They're
Mhm.
fixing that apparently. I know some of the stuff, some of the like the gears on the floor have now gone up, and they're kind of changing some things around and trying to go through that retro Tomorrowland thing. But yeah,
Yeah.
Disneyland, Space Mountain, 7 on my list. Number 6 on your list last time around was Big Thunder. What are we looking at?
Now we're at Slinky. So,
Slinky.
yay, Slinky! I do still love Slinky. It's still fun. I've told the story many times about Slinky Dog,
Mm-hmm.
and I just think it's still a great coaster. It
Mm-hmm.
surprises you. I told you the first time I rode it, I thought, oh, this will be fine. This will be like a kiddie coaster. And then it wasn't. It was
And Brady
just
loved it too, correct?
Brady loved it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were like, what? So
Yeah.
we can't always stomach the line if we don't have, like a Genie Plus or something.
Right.
Because it does get very long. And so if we don't get on it, we're not like devastated because we don't have that nostalgia, with
Right.
that one. We enjoy it.
Right.
There's no nostalgia there. So if we miss it because we didn't grab a Genie Plus pass and we didn't feel like waiting or we didn't like rope drop it, we're like, whatever. But I do love it every time I ride it. If I have the opportunity, I'm always taking it. So
agreed. It's a incredible ride, which will come up on my list a little bit later. But I do love Slinky Dog for many reasons, which we'll get to in just a little while. Number 6 on my list is, in fact, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
Oh, okay.
I love Big Thunder. I think because we rode it in Disneyland, and then like a month later, or actually in March, I got to ride it in Disney World. And then like 2 or 3 weeks later, I got to ride it in Disneyland. So I got to ride Big Thunder both coasts within the span of like 3 or 4 weeks. It was fun. It was so much fun riding both. And it's just,
I do like Disneyland's too.
It's classic. I love them both. And it's just so classic. And it's so simple. And it's like,
Agreed.
This is your next step up when your kids can do Barnstormer and then maybe 7 Dwarves. You go to Big Thunder. Would you say Big Thunder or Slinky Dog in terms of intensity? Which one do you think is more intense? Probably Big Thunder, maybe?
Probably Big Thunder just because it throws you a little bit more, but not jerky, which is weird to say, but it does because like it bounces and you catch air.
Right. But you slide back and forth. So make sure you put the heavier person on the outside of your car.
Unless you just want that experience.
You will get slidden into. I'm sure that's improper grammar, but
that didn't work, but close enough.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
number 5 on your list last time was Expedition Everest. What's your number 5?
My number 5 is, I have to look down. Actually, randomly, I have Rock and Roller Coaster here. This is probably a nostalgia for me. I do think it's a great coaster. I do enjoy it. I love it. I love the thrill part of it. And I was always a fan of Aerosmith. And I know that it's not going to stay Aerosmith forever. Okay. Like I know that and it's fine.
Right.
But there is something about that, just that smell of the underground-ish location and, the bright lights and the music in the car and it's a smooth ride though. It does not jerk you around. It is a good coaster. So
good coaster.
It's a good coaster.
And you can also tell the music you're going to hear on your car by the license plate. There are actually things online you can find, but the license plate will tell you if your license plate says this, you're going to hear these 2 songs and those 2 songs or whatever. So if you're ever wondering, how do I get Sweet Emotion? Then go look up the license plate, look for that particular vehicle.
And then you're going to have to request that vehicle, of course, which might be a little bit more difficult.
And hope it's actually running, because they're not going to have more than 2 or 3 vehicles on the track at the same time.
So, some days they might have one of the cars off the track. So,
but
or a couple.
when you're sitting in line, you can pay attention when you're next to that big fencing, that chain link fence, as you're looking over. You can just kind of watch the license plates and figure out which one you want.
You can watch the curtains blow back whenever
if you
takes
just
off.
like waiting in line so much, you can just wait in line for the next car to come
around.
around.
That slingshot start is just still fabulous. It's still
great.
Fabulous.
It's great. Even videos with this ride with the lights on, which are really strange.
They're odd. Oh, those are weird.
It's an odd coaster with the lights on. Space Mountain's an odd coaster with the lights on too.
Correct.
But coaster. Number 5 on my list. Last time around it was Expedition Everest, and now this time it is the Incredicoaster. I know I just talked about the theming and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
The reason I put this was actually number 1 on my list. It dropped down to number 5, but it made my list again because I finally got to ride it with Stephanie in April. Because if you remember, when we went for the first time to Disneyland in 2011, in May of 2011, my dear wife just found out she was pregnant with our child.
That's right.
So she couldn't ride it at all. And so I got to ride it 2 or 3 times, and she's sitting back going, this sucks. And so I got to ride all the stuff. She has been to Disneyland twice since then. My kid has been also to Disneyland with her mom. They all go out there. They've been out there before. So she's done it a couple of times. And again, I had gone to Disneyland with a group in 2020, got to do it. But in April, got to go together, she and I, and we got to ride all these rides together, including Incredicoaster. So it was really cool sitting next to her, riding the ride, and being together on that ride. So that's number 5 on my list, really just for sentimental value.
Sure.
Number 4 on your list last time around was, in fact, Slinky Dog Dash. What is it now?
Space Mountain Disneyland. I think I actually raised that one up. And again, on any given day, I should have given this caveat. Anything can change. It might just depend on what mood I'm in. I mean, but I do love Space Mountain Disneyland. It is, again, we've talked about it, smooth. You got the music in the car. I love the projections. I've also been on it during Halloween period when they switch it to Ghost Galaxy. And it is, I don't know, it's just fun. And the whole queue is different than Walt Disney World. Like just the whole experience is different.
I think it's a better queue.
It is I do miss the stars a little bit, but but the queue makes more sense in terms of, anyway. And we don't have the little RCA robot dogs, which I know aren't RCA robot dogs anymore, but they were back when I was a kid. They were representative of RCA, who at that point was sponsoring Space Mountain. So I go back a long ways with this ride. So I do still love Walt Disney World more for nostalgia, but Disneyland is actually a better coaster.
They do a much better job at theming and overlaying the rides there with Space Mountain in particular than they do here. When they did, I think they did some sort of Star Wars something with Space Mountain and Walt Disney World.
Briefly.
And it was like a few projections and it was like you're in a ship and blah, blah. It was just whatever.
But they're more limited too, is the thing. Whereas in
Disneyland, we did this we did Space Mountain Disneyland in April, and it was the Hyperspace Mountain.
Oh, yeah.
And there were lasers flying besides our car. There was all kinds of voices, and there was Darth Vader, and you could see ships flying through the air. It was really cool as you're going through, and all of a sudden you see the green lasers. Pew, 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 pew. It was neat. It was really
neat. Disneyland was also built after Disney World, as I recall.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's like whichever park got it first, they normally plussed it up in the second park because it's like, oh, we should have done it this way. They kind of learned things. So. I think that's part of the reason.
Plus, it also takes more to do something like that at Disneyland. And as we know, Disneyland is a locals park, so they don't mind going above and beyond with their attractions versus Disney World, which is like
you have to keep it iconic.
They want to keep it iconic because the person from Japan, this may be the only time they ever visit this, and they want to make sure that it's accessible in its original form as much as possible to all guests.
And really, I will say the only difference is it was in Disney. Pirates was in Disneyland first. And it's still better than World, because it's shorter in World, but that's more of a space, issue for how they had it. It wasn't originally planned into it. So,
So number 4 from my list is Hagrid's, a magical motorbike creature adventure, whatever. The long title that nobody says. Everybody just says
No,
Hagrid.
Hagrid's.
Hagrid's magical creature, motorbike adventure, or whatever. And
It's a lot.
This would have been a little higher. Maybe I had this originally on my list at number 2, and I dropped it down to number 4 because of what you said. Of course, the queue and the breakdown. The queue is great when you get into the theming part of the queue. The line will run into other parts of the park, which is obnoxious. It does break down all the time, and I love. The ride itself is fantastic. The ride itself is so cool. Even the audio animatronics look a little cheesy, as they sometimes do, especially Universal, Hagrid, whatever. But you don't get to focus on them that much because you're going so fast.
Yeah, you're going real fast.
7 launches, which is great. That drop down towards the end is awesome. I have only done the motorbike. I have not done the sidecar. I've heard they're kind of different experiences.
I have only done the sidecar, and I've not done the motorbike.
So it's kind of a dual thing where on one hand it's cool, you get 2 experiences. On the other hand, you have to wait in line twice to get both experiences. And so
that's true.
That's really
true. It's hard.
Kind of crazy. So that's why it's number 4 on my list. Number 3 on your list was Space Mountain Disneyland. No, I'm sorry, it was Rock and Roller Coaster, which has dropped down on your list now. What is 3 on your list currently?
3 on my list right now is Expedition Everest. Was that my number 1 last year? That was my number 1. I think
that was your number 1. 2
years
ago. Yep.
Still love it. Still fantastic coaster. Still will go all the time. But there's a reason I ranked a couple things ahead of it.
I was going to say, given what has come into existence in the last couple of years, this is still number 1 of all the coasters that existed before. And so,
correct.
So your thing hasn't changed. Number 3 on my list was Space Mountain Disneyland, and now it's Slinky Dog Dash. Slinky Dog Dash. And like you said, it's a great ride. This is a ride that I could ride 4 or 5 times in a row. I love this ride. I think it's fun. I think it's sweet. There is a sentimental value, of course, and I mentioned this before. It's my kid's favorite ride. He loves this attraction. We've had several instances of pure cast member magic who have, when cast members allowed us to do things on this ride or continue to ride it over and over based on Campbell. And not that we've asked for it. We never ask for it, but sometimes they award us magic, which is great.
Right.
His face, watching him light up when he knows we're going to get on this ride. Many autistic children do something called stimming, and they'll flap their hands. They kind of flap their hands. That is when Campbell is in pure joy mode. Like everything right now to him, he is like, I am as happy as I have ever been. He did that the other day when we were swimming. He was jumping in the pool. He was flapping his hands. It was like, this is amazing. He does this Slinky Dog Dash. He will flap his hands and just stand there in line like, I am so excited. I don't know what to do with myself because he loves it so much. So that's why it's ranking high for me. If it was just a pure coaster, it might be down on my list a little farther, but I got to put it number 3 because we're talking about the overall experience.
Oh my gosh, exactly.
Number 2 on your list was Space Mountain Disneyland. What is it now?
Oh, so this is when I look, I crossed off a little bit too early. This one is VelociCoaster. I'm not giving it number 1, but I'm giving it number 2.
It's number 2 on my list as well, so we can talk about it.
Perfect.
So, because I know what our number 1 is now, and so
I think everybody can guess. But VelociCoaster is just crazy. It's what the double launches. It's 2 launches in the middle. It's fast and then like faster and then just faster. Yep. And like you feel like you're catching air and you're gonna fall out of your seat and all sorts of things, but it's like amazing. It was wow.
Yeah, it is an incredible ride.
Absolutely amazing.
I love the fact that it is a pure coaster without a whole lot of tricks and treats and things like that. Now, I love what Hagrid's does with the drops and the launches and stuff.
Absolutely.
But VelociCoaster is just a pure coaster.
Yeah.
Which means it doesn't break down nearly as much. They tested this thing forever to make sure that it wouldn't break down nearly as much. The line seemed to go fairly fast when we got in early in the morning. Again, you got to choose. You got to pick your poison. Do I want Hagrid? Do I want VelociCoaster? If I'm only riding one, which one am I riding today? Based on Hagrid, you may only ride one today. It doesn't matter. Who knows? But it is, if you can get in the first row, do it. There is a line there for the first row. And that hill, that top of that big loop there that goes above the water is just magnificent. It is just massive hill. It looks scarier than it is, in my opinion, but it's still very intense. And it's just so much fun. Again, it's fun riding with people that you love and you love being around you. Because when we rode it, our team basically had the first 10 rows of the coaster. So there's a picture of us, like the first 10 rows is all of us in white.
It's all us.
It's great. It's great. So VelociCoaster number 2 for both of us. Before we get to your number 1, like Casey Kasem would say, we have some coasters dropping out of the countdown. You lost on your list Rip Ride Rockets, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and Hulk. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. I also lost Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Barnstormer, and Hulk. fell off my list.
That's right.
As well.
You had
So,
you did have Barnstormer
Number
last
2,
time.
To Fall from Grace. If we did this list again on episode, 244 in 2 years, who knows? Who knows where I would put it, because I probably will ride it again between now and then. I didn't ride it in June, and it wasn't like I was pushing to ride it either. I did kind of want to ride Rip Ride Rocket, just didn't get really a chance to. Hulk, I was like, eh. Plus, I'd also had, a hospital visit the week before, so I didn't.
Yeah,
feel like
it probably wasn't
necessary.
the wisest thing for you.
Right, right. But I'm going to assume that number 1 for you is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
Yeah, correct. Maybe.
Why is this your favorite coaster? Out of all of these, why is this your favorite?
So first of all, I have loved the Guardian. That was the first Marvel movie I saw.
Right.
Was Guardians. And we always joke about my lack of all Marvel knowledge.
You've only seen like 4 Marvel movies ever.
I've seen 7. Yeah. No, I've seen 9. I've seen 9. But Guardians was the first one that I saw. And I just loved it because I love that era. So I love the nostalgia. I love the music. Music
is great.
It's so great. I love Drax's dry humor, just in all of that. And so the fact that it's all sort of incorporated into this coaster, and just the way the coaster moves and shifts, and it like blew my mind the first time I rode it. I love it. I love the launch. I love all of the special effects leading up to it. So it's like the total package, immersion wise, to me, total package.
I agree. It's just, I love the Omni coaster aspect of it, because the cars themselves will move around and shift versus just going straight ahead. They steer you to which direction they want you to look based on what's going on. They get that big globe in the middle, and there's like almost like a G-force going on there as it swivels around that globe.
Oh, totally.
You're
like, oh my gosh, like that's where if you get. And that is where, if you get motion sick, you do want to make sure you ask for the middle.
Yes. Or if you, again, were in the hospital the week before with intestinal issues and esophagus issues, you may want to consider not riding, or ride it anyway and take your chances, which I did. Thankfully, it was fine. But that was always fun. But no, the ride itself it's one of those rides that I feel like I need to ride this 7 or 8 times now to experience all of it, because there's so much to see. There's so much to pay attention to when you're flying through that attraction. Just like you're looking everywhere, you're looking all around, even where the coaster is pointing you to, you still want to look over your shoulder, look at things, and you're missing everything. I mean, like there's so much to see that I didn't get it all. Even in the queue, I mean, like there's so many things in the queue you want to look at and stuff. It's the 6 songs there that are there, which you've done everything but Disco Inferno.
Everything but Disco Inferno.
I've done the Tears for Fears song. Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Of course, I did the legendary conga motion where we get in there and I yelled conga, and then immediately it played.
That was amazing.
I could never do that again. I was very proud of that moment.
That was fabulous.
Such a fun attraction.
It was great.
Disney, like, for all the things, like I wish VelociCoaster was in Disney World. I think that would be so great in Disney World. But I love having Guardians of Disney World because it tells the story. VelociCoaster, there are dinosaurs. Awesome. Great dinosaurs. Look at the cool theming. When you get on the ride itself, it's like, okay, we're on a coaster themed to a dinosaur. This is awesome. Guardians tells a story from front to back. And I think that's just,
it does.
Great. Whether you're picking the story or not.
Yeah. Agreed. I mean, the queue in VelociCoaster is great. It definitely is. But Guardians actually tells the story the whole way through. Like you said, it's a difference. And I think it's going to be hard to top Guardians for me. Of course, Tron is coming out here at some point, and who knows, maybe if we do this again next year, my top 3 will look different. I don't know, but
very cool. Tron is the one that we're talking about. Tron's the one coming soon. We don't know. Probably
we don't know.
Next May. I can't imagine it opening up in November. We would have heard it by now. I just feel like
we would have totally known.
Plus there's like no room at the inn at resorts anyway in November. So if they open up in November, I mean, they're already sold out. So let's push it for May. That's my guess. We'll find out D23 in a couple of weeks. So that'll be the game changer. Who knows what it's going to look like? If you're producer Heather, quasi-producer Heather, she's going to tell you it's number 1 regardless. Epic Universe is coming in a couple of years to Universal, and that will have at least 1 or 2 coasters, if not more. I believe there's a coaster in the Mario World is coming, and who knows what else is coming. So I don't know of any other coasters opening up though. Like we haven't heard anything about new coaster attractions at Universal. Unless
we get for Disney, unless we get something else at D23, and until Universal releases more,
on
Epic Universe or whatever.
which is possible. I mean, we could hear it, but at this point in time, it would not be here for another couple of years. So we'll be able to do this again in 2024.
Yeah, exactly. Why not?
Jen, where can people find you as you coast on down to Costa Rica, to Costa Rica? On your Adventures by Disney? Where can people find you so they can follow all of your fantastic adventures?
At Upon a Star Jen. And at Jen_Novotny is my personal Instagram. And then, of course, our agency account at Upon a Star Travel.
Very cool. Find me at the Magic $1 on Instagram. I am 6 away from having 700 followers. I know that's not a lot, but 700, I'm almost there. Come on, folks, come follow me. The Magic $1 on Instagram, Magic $1 and Disney $1 on Facebook. Find me there. And of course, find us at the MSE podcast at gmail.com. That's our email address. We'd love to hear from you. The .com is our website. You can go there and see all the show notes from all the shows and all the stuff we've talked about. And I was flipping through the previous episodes looking for the roller coaster episode. We've talked about a lot of stuff. So, and we've got a lot of stuff to talk about, which is awesome because we're chatty. What can we say? The MSE podcast. Find that on Facebook and on Instagram as well, all over the place. UponAStarTravel.com is our agency website. Go there and see all the fun stuff going on with the agency and everything, and news and bits and things like that. Upon a Star Travel is on TikTok as well. Great TikTok, great Instagram, great Facebook. All you want to fill your feed with magic and travel because there's so much crap going on in the world. You want happy stuff. Follow all of us and get all the happy stuff in your feed. We don't go crazy. We don't get newsy and whatever. It's just like, here's some coasters. Here's Costa Rica. Here's a great beach. Here's some rides. There's Mickey. There's a princess hugging a princess. It's fun stuff. We love it. So this has been fun. Recapping our roller coaster episode. Let us know what you love, what we missed, anything on our list that's just glaring to you, like I can't believe this wasn't higher or lower, or I hate that ride, or I love that ride. We'd love to hear from you. And again, Jen, thank you so much. I'm Dave, and hey, don't forget to thank your Phoenicians.
Thank you for listening to the Main Street Electrical Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at the MSE Podcast, or visit our website at themsepodcast.com. Be sure to subscribe, and may all your wishes come true.